Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're doing a little experiment. We're putting two different ways of learning to the test, head-to-head, in what we're calling the Great Origami Showdown. In one corner, a classic website. In the other, a brand new AI.
So, which one is actually the better teacher? We're going to find out by tackling a fun and, surprisingly tricky challenge. The real goal here is to see which method helps us learn not just faster, but better, more deeply.
Yep, you heard that right. Our mission is to fold the perfect jumping paper frog. Now, it sounds simple, I know, but how we get there, well, that's going to tell us a whole lot about the different ways we learn and the tools we're all starting to use every single day.
All right, round one. Let's start with our first contender. We're going old school here. Well, internet old school. We're talking about the classic traditional online instruction guide.
So we're using a site called Origami.me, and it's pretty much exactly what you'd expect, right? You've got these clear diagrams, step-by-step instructions. You just follow them in a straight line. Start at 1, go to 2, and kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best.
And this really gets to the heart of the experience, doesn't it? On the one hand, the diagrams are great, super clear, the sequence is totally predictable, but what happens the second you mess up a fold? Bam, you hit a brick wall. There's literally no way to ask a question, you have no idea how to fix your mistake, and you're stuck going at the guide's pace, not your own.
Okay, so that was the website. Now for round 2. Let's bring in our second contender, the AI coach. And trust me, this is a completely different ballgame.
So this time, there's no static guide to follow. Nope. Instead, we just had a conversation with ChatGPT. We asked it to teach us how to fold the frog. And right away, the whole process changes. It's not a one-way street anymore. It's a real, back-and-forth dialogue.
And this is where you really see the trade-offs. The huge plus? Personalization. I mean, you can ask for clarification anytime you want. You can say, hey, rephrase that, I don't get it, and the pace is all yours. But there's a downside. It's almost all text. Trying to describe a really complex origami fold with just words, that's tough. And this is a big one. Sometimes the AI can spit out advice that's just not right or not helpful at all.
All right, both rounds are done, the bell has rung. Now it's time for the side-by-side showdown. Let's put these two contenders head-to-head and really see how they stack up.
This chart lays it all out perfectly, just at a glance. So look at pacing. The website, totally rigid. The AI, completely flexible. What about feedback? Well, the website's a dead end, but the AI is interactive. But here's the real kicker, problem solving. With the website, if you're lost, you're just lost. With the AI, though, you actually have a partner that can help you figure out what went wrong.
So, okay, this was about more than just folding a paper frog, right? This whole experiment really taught us something fundamental about how we learn, especially now with these incredibly powerful new tools in our hands.
And the key takeaway, the big idea here, is something called metacognition. Now, it's a fancy word, I know, but all it means is thinking about your own thinking. It's that skill of realizing, wait a minute, I'm confused. It's about pinpointing what you don't get and then figuring out the right question to ask to get yourself unstuck.
And you can see the impact of that skill right here in this chart. See, one method might have been a bit faster, that's what we're calling learning efficiency, but that's not the whole story. Look at learner confidence. That ability to talk it out, to solve problems with the AI, it led to way more confidence in the final frog, and that's huge.
So here's what it all boils down to. Jen and I, it's not just another instruction manual. It actually changes your role. You go from being a passive follower, just checking off steps, to an active participant in your own learning, which, suggests that maybe the best way to do this is a hybrid approach. Use a website for those great, clear visuals, but have an AI coach in your back pocket for when you get stuck. The thing is, the AI forces you to be more self-aware. It actually trains you to ask better questions.
Okay, so this is the really important part, because this was never just about origami, was it? The real question is, how can you take these lessons and apply them to your own life, to whatever it is you want to learn? So, we've got 4 concrete steps for you to learn smarter with AI. First up, start with a clear goal. Know what you're trying to do before you dive in. Second, ask specific troubleshooting questions. Don't just say, I'm lost. Say, I'm stuck on step 4. What should the paper look like right now? See the difference? Third, if a step is super complex, ask for an analogy. Get the AI to explain it in a different way. And fourth, and this is so important, use the AI as a coach, not a critic. It's a tool to help you think, not to make you feel bad.
And really, that's the big idea we want to leave you with. Look, AI is a ridiculously powerful tool. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, you're still the one in charge. You're the architect of your own understanding. The future of learning, it's not just about fancier tools. It's about us becoming better, more engaged learners. So, the only question left is, what will you build next?